All right, everybody, it's kinetic aesthetic time. I hope you are having a good start to your Tuesday, and I hope that the rest of your week is going well because it's now time for a little edition we call Sports Talk. It's kinetic aesthetic. It's your boy Germ. Like I said, I hope you all are having a good day, and I hope that you're ready to have a little discussion because not only do we have the NBA to talk about where we have players aligning themselves with betting companies and just making us all just have to wonder just that much harder if this shit is actually for real or if it's all organized. Then we've got the hockey players who are just showing their ass and just getting caught up in the culture wars. And to top it all off, the Bears are potentially moving to fucking Indiana. All of this is just needs to get talked about, discussed, and so much more. So I want y'all to go get comfortable, go get yourself some food, a snack, or a drink, and just prop your feet up and get nice and relaxed because it is kinetic aesthetic coming right at you, and it is time to have a good discussion about this week in sports. Okay, so first things first, we have to talk about the Chicago Bears and the constant, just ever-pressing drama that is them getting a new stadium. Now, we have been through a whole saga with this shit. I wish we could just be focusing on the fact that the Bears are a respectable and just good football team again, but we can't. We got to look at all this other shit and we have to be focused on that. Now, when it comes to talking about this and understanding where things are, we first have to really just take a look at how stadiums are usually made. Now, for whatever reason, a lot of cities always end up kowtowing to these billionaires. They end up, one way or another, strong-arming themselves into getting these stadiums built, and taxpayers are normally, they don't always end up paying for most of it, but they end up somehow footing a big-ass bill they probably shouldn't be paying. And that is the basis and the crux of the issue that is going on with the Bears and the city. The Bears, I believe, and George McCaskey, the owner, I believe they would prefer that they have went with their original plan for a new stadium on the lakefront. They wanted to build a state-of-the-art dome stadium. I personally don't want a dome, but I understand why they want to do it. They wanted to build a big-ass dome stadium. They wanted to have a big-ass, they wanted to just have a whole entertainment center just built around this new stadium. They wanted it right off the lake, and it sounded good. It was something that would have been all right, but there's a lot of issues with them getting it done. Firstly, the City of Chicago Parks and Recreation is who actually owns Soldier Field. They are the main owners of it. They have the rights, and they have been trying to dick around the Bears for a while. And as much as I don't have any sympathy for the Bears, especially not George or anything, because at the end of the day, they got renovations done in 2002, and we still are still paying the bill. Now, I'm not going to make it seem like that Chicago does not have a whole bunch of crooked-ass politicians, everything like that are probably a big part of why we're still in that financial hole when it comes to it. But that is the basis of why we have these initial just differences on getting things done. It was a big part of why the Bears ended up bringing in Kevin Warren. He was the former president of Michigan Athletics, and they brought him in mainly because he is the type of guy who is going to be able to get this type of deal done. So what the Bears are at, and the main crux now in terms of where they're at in terms on negotiations, Illinois wants the Bears to pay $200 million in taxes per year on this new stadium. Sounds like a lot of money, but it sounds like something that a billion-dollar NFL franchise should and just that they should do. And in my opinion, that'd be correct. That's the side I lean on. But when you really look at it and you look at the deals that a lot of these other NFL teams are getting, it falls through. So just for example, the LA Rams SoFi Stadium, it's in fucking Inglewood. It's a huge stadium. It's big. It is the most, I want to say it's the newest stadium. I believe the only one that's going to, actually Buffalo Stadium they're going to be debuting in this year is going to be newer than that. But other than that, it was SoFi. And so they only pay $10 million per year in taxes. They pay, honestly, it's a little under that. So that is the type of deal. And when I tell y'all that, these NFL cities usually get fucked over in terms of the deals and how much they end up making them pay per year on taxes and shit, that is what I mean. For as big as that fucking stadium is in LA, they are only paying about $8 million per year on that in taxes. And so when you look at that type of deal, when you look at how they're able to get that done for that little ass chump change compared to the $200 million the Bears the Bears are supposed to be paying according to Illinois, you start to see and understand why we're at this standstill, why you have other states even being able to put in a bid. Now, I personally, and this is just I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't blame the city. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell y'all that they just need to suck it up. The Bears got to stay in Chicago. This is so important, yada, yada, yada. Yes, it is. Yes, it is going to be different if the Bears were to move, even if they move outside of Chicago, because they still have a potential spot in Illinois that we're going to talk about in a second. But they have no real reason, the state of Illinois, I mean, to just sit there and bend over for this team. Yes, the Chicago Bears are important. Yes, they're going to bring a lot of revenue. And yes, you don't want that to be the look of any politician who's in office right now, that you were in charge and you helped let the Bears leave Illinois. Nobody wants that. They've been here for this long. They are the pride of our state. But it comes to a certain point where you have to be realistic. You have to do something smart with your money. And you have to not be willing to allow billionaires and just this NFL company to just come in and just kowtow and get you to do what you want. It's not going to benefit the city in the long run, well, not in the city, taxpayers in the long run, if they just let shit like that happen. Now, because of all the issues that the city of Chicago and the Bears have had, the Bears ended up going out and started looking at different options. Firstly, they bought a plot of land in Arlington Heights, Illinois. It's a little suburb. It is further from Chicago compared to some of the other spots that are available, but still it's in Illinois. It's in a nice city, nice little area, and it's the type of thing to where if they take that plot of land and they were to build a stadium, they'd be able to build up a big ass, like, just whole district of stuff to go along with it, and it would end up being pretty nice. So Arlington Heights is a good site. It has potential, and it's the destination at this point that I would prefer them to go with. The problem with that is that just because of all of the taxes and shit and everything they've been going through with the city of Chicago and the Parks and Recreation out there, they have been doing whatever they can to just sort of make this move to Arlington Heights difficult. They don't want the Bears to just have an easy time going over there. They really don't want them to leave. What the city of Parks and Recreations would prefer is if for some reason they decide to stay at Soldier Field even longer. Which, listen, I'm not trying to hate on the legacy of Soldier Field. I think it's a great stadium. It's got history. It's amazing, but it's old. It's old, and it is time for a new one. It's the smallest stadium in the NFL. The Bears, for as rich as history and as much history goes into this franchise, it is time for them to get a new stadium. It's time for them to get something that is deserving of the oldest franchise in the NFL. And so that's why I prefer Arlington Heights, but that's also not the only spot that is potentially available, because we have fucking a whole nother state. We got Indiana. Yes, Indiana, that is also home to the Indianapolis Colts. They've said, fuck it, we don't want just one team. We'll take another one. And they've offered the Bears to literally pay for it all, to give them a great tax deal. They've been going out of their way to try to get Chicago to come over and just set up shop in Hammond, Indiana. Now, Hammond, Indiana is not that far. It's really only 30 minutes from Chicago, so it's not like it would be going too far away. I'm still going to just be honest with you. My big issue with this is that at the end of the day, the Chicago Bears it might not be in Chicago, but damn it, you're supposed to be in Illinois. It is just not going to feel right to me as a Bears fan, as lifelong fan of this team, if they really were to make this move, all of a sudden you're in Hammond, Indiana. And it's getting close, because with all the drama, with all the constant back and forth, having meetings and then having meetings canceled, having votes that don't go through the way they're supposed to go through, the Bears are at this point fed up. They're fed up. and they are really playing hardball, and it's getting close to a point now where the Bears have already sat down and they've already talked about it and they put it out there. They're willing to commit $2 billion to this project in Hammond, Indiana, if it's going to just get this stadium built and get the ball rolling. Because I know the NFL is tired of this. I know Roger Goodell is tired of this. I know George is tired of this. But most importantly, the fans are tired of this. And this has been the best year of Bears football since 2006. So for us to really be sitting here in this offseason more focused on the stadium instead of just being able to be happy that we have Caleb Williams as our quarterback now, being able to be happy that we have Ben Johnson as the coach, this is bullshit. And it's really just getting tiresome for a lot of Bears fans, and I think they're recognizing that. That's why they're trying to just get it all taken care of, get everything in order, because nobody wants to keep hearing about this. You know, if you're going to play in Hammond, Indiana, if you're going to be like the Giants and the Jets and be the New York team, but you play in New Jersey, at this point, I'm okay with that. Hammond, Indiana is not more than, if it was like an hour away from Chicago or even more than 30 minutes, even like 31 minutes, I'd be upset. It's 30 minutes. It's not that long. Just get something going, because I would love nothing more than when that stadium is being freshly done to get some tickets and just be there for that first game. I would love to be able to really get that idea in my head and just know how long away that's going to be. Because the longer they spend time arguing and bickering and doing all this back and forth shit, they're just wasting time and they're just sapping energy away from shit that really matters, like getting more talent. So I am rooting for Arlington Heights, but at this point, I just want them to get something done, because I don't have sympathy for the Bears, I don't have sympathy for George, and I don't have sympathy for the city of Chicago. I just think it's a bunch of politicians and rich motherfuckers who are having a dick measuring contest on who's going to try to get what they want first. Okay, so we have to talk about Giannis and his investment into the betting company Kalshi. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Milwaukee Bucks megastar, two-time NBA MVP, he recently came out and he revealed that he is actually an investor into Kalshi. He owns it, well, partly owns it and everything like that. It's not a big deal. I mean, players and just anybody just teaming up with these betting companies doesn't surprise me. It's where a lot of money is at. I can't necessarily be mad at that within itself. The problem comes is that Kalshi, when the trade, before the NBA trade deadline, was definitely taking bets on Giannis and where he was going, where he was going to be traded to, if he was going to be traded at all. And it just leads to the question and to the real just thing that you have to ponder over. Did Giannis take all of that into account when he was just maneuvering the way he was maneuvering during the trade deadline? With him knowing that he is going to get paid whenever this company Kalshi is making money, did he see it upon himself? Let me make myself look like I'm ready to leave. Let me just make it appear as though I'm on the way out. You know, let me go to Chicago and just appear in Chicago and just make a whole bunch of people start talking and buzzing and doing all of this other stuff. And I would like to believe that Giannis is not that type of player, that he is not the type that's going to go out and do something like that. But you're getting paid off of it, basically. And it doesn't even go in. I just found out, just based off doing more research, that the big NBA reporter Shams, who is the one that's breaking all of the news, that whenever a big trade happens, he's the guy that's going to be, drop the bomb and everything like that. NBA insiders and just the trade rumors, those guys make a hell of a ton of money and they just get a lot of attention. So it makes sense, especially if he's going to be teaming up with a company like DraftKings, where Shams has actually teamed up with, for him to play into the Giannis getting traded rumors, to play into all of the controversy and the drama and the uncertainty around it, because as we're finding out, the uncertainty is getting these motherfuckers paid. And I think it's terrible. I think it's fucked up. It's one thing if you have an NBA reporter doing that. It's already sort of bad. But when you have players like Giannis, who literally, the situation is revolving around him, when he is investing in these companies and forcing us to have that thought in the back of our head. is this real? Is this the truth? Is this really going on? That's not good for the league. That's not good for sports in general. And it's only a matter of time before we see players from all over the different sports start to make these investments, start to really team up, and then it's going to be a shit show. It's going to be a free-for-all. It's going to be the question of, is this guy really does he have integrity, or is he going to be like just a scumbag who's just using all of the betting shit going on to just make money off of people? It's a very weird time to be in sports right now. It's not something that I think is going to take care of itself anytime soon. I believe that when you opened up that door on sports betting and like letting all of the leagues partner into that and start to get involved, you opened up Pandora's box. Because now you really playing sports and having these guys out here, like there's an NFL player suspended every single offseason because of this shit. And I think it just has to do with the big part of it is, number one, these guys who are coming into the league, a lot of them are coming in there just trying to change their families' lives, trying to change just generations and eons of just poor family luck of not having material wealth. And so if they're going to see a way, we saw an NBA player that talked about it a couple months ago. If you got your guys that are coming from nothing and you're the one that's up there making it, if you can see a way, especially through something like sports betting, to help them out, a lot of these niggas is going to take it. A lot of these guys are going to go and do what they can. They're not going to necessarily think about the long-term risk. They're not going to think about losing the access to all of that wealth and influence. They're just going to do it because at the end of the day, you are playing this game to make money. People who are playing football, basketball, baseball, all of these sports, they're playing like we always say, they're playing a kid's game and they're being paid handsomely for it. So they're not looking at it as just some big privilege and everything like that. A lot of times they're looking at it, man, I'm trying to get paid. And me personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But we have to do something to maintain the integrity. We can't allow shit to get to this point, because trade rumors are one thing, but it can be something bigger. It can be something more consequential that a player can start trying to play around with to get himself paid. So we'll just have to keep an eye on this, because this definitely has me looking at Giannis differently, and it definitely just has me. I already have struggles with the NBA because it's the same league that had the Tim Donahue scandal, that has had crooked referees and things of that nature. So this is just something that the NBA does not need. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about hockey. Now, hockey is not a sport that I normally like to talk on too much, that I really don't have much to speak about. It's not something that I have normally even paid that much attention to. I'm a big fan of the Blackhawks just because I love all of my Chicago sports. Very much appreciative for them bringing us some championships, but even during that time period, I cannot tell you much of any regular season Blackhawks game that I was ever really watching. So the reason why I have to bring up hockey now, if you can't guess, is because they found themselves knee deep in some culture war bullshit. And I wish that I could give them some type of out. I wish I could say that this is just some type of misunderstanding, but nah, it's just the more I have learned about hockey doing research over this whole controversy they're in, the more I am reminded of why it might not be a culture for me. Now, this whole controversy with the men's hockey team started after they won the gold medal in the Winter Olympics that are going on. Now, I would love to be able to just celebrate that, despite my criticisms of this country, of America. I do love my country and I do love to see them win. However, like we're going to get into, it's getting to a point now where America is so divided and so just polarized that we really just have two different Americas, and I don't know if these guys realize that, or maybe they do and they know what side they want to be on, and it's definitely not mine. So they were able to win the gold medal. They were able to defeat Team Canada in an overtime victory. The women's U.S. hockey team also won, which is a big part of why this news story got so relevant. But they were the only team that won, or at least the only hockey team, well, I haven't seen none about the women's, to get a call, to get congratulations, to really get invited to the White House by our president. that already within itself, you can already tell people notice that who our president is. People are always looking for another reason to dislike his ass, and he doesn't disappoint. He always succeeds. And normally it wouldn't be at least I wouldn't think of it as a big deal. You know, when a sports team wins a championship, it is customary. I've seen videos so as long as I've been into sports, going back to the 80s and 70s, of if you win a big championship, the leader of the country, the president, calls you, congratulates you. NFL, NBA, all of that. So, well, that was before we found ourselves in this deep into the culture war and everything just went to shit. But to get to the main story, they won. They're in the locker room celebrating, and that alone shouldn't be an issue. You'd think that that'd just be fine. But you've got the fucking director of the FBI, our googly-eyed Kash Patel, just in there with them. This motherfucker is celebrating like he's a coach, like he was a player, chugging beers, doing a whole bunch, just doing the most, just being corny. It's like Drake when he was doing that while he was in that meeting with the Kentucky players. Like, this nigga thinks he's part of the team. So that's already goofy. He's doing this on the same day that an armed man, had gotten into the Mar-a-Lago property. Who knows what he was trying to do? Maybe he was trying to get rid of the president. Damn it. But that happened. And this motherfucker is still on the, like, celebrating with Team USA like he doesn't have a care in the world. Just real weird looking shit. And it doesn't end there, because he is the connecting factor to how this all blew out of proportion, because he decided it was a good idea to put them on a FaceTime with the president. That, again, a lot of teams, they get a call from the president, they call him, they go see him. At least back in the day before we had this orange motherfucker. Now, they get on the phone with Trump, and I'm just going to say this right now, from doing my research on the NHL, at least a majority of the players, I'm not going to say a majority. It has the second highest percentage of right-leaning athletes. Just to be clear, the second highest percentage. I didn't do much research past that. I didn't even really look up who was number one, but they are the ones probably who are right-leaning, because based off that video, based off the way that conversation went with our president, they weren't upset. Nobody was opposed to him, and nobody thought it was a big deal when he joked about having to invite the women's hockey team, otherwise he would be impeached. Basically giving the implication, especially based off the fact that he had yet to ever call the women's hockey team, congratulate them. Really, I don't think I didn't even know that they had won anything. He said that he would have to get impeached if he didn't do it equally and fairly and invite both of them. They laughed and cheered. They thought it was no big deal. They thought it was funny. To be honest with you, if they are as right-leaning as these reports indicate, and as just their reactions to all of this indicate, they probably agreed with them. So, already, for starters, it's fucked up, especially when these guys, they should know how hard it is as an Olympic athlete in general, just to reach that stage, just to get up there and to win a gold medal. So it's a little strange of them to just laugh and cheer the way they did, but they did. And already that was enough. I know we're at a point right now where if you are any type of positive relationship with this man, with our president, with Donald Trump, there is a very sizable portion of the population that just don't fuck with you. It's at this point where it's like, if you with him, you rocking with him. You're guilty by association type shit. And I'm not sure they care. Maybe they are just not politically savvy enough to understand that. But they also, as this man was giving the State of the Union address, he brought them out, and they got a standing ovation. They got their round of applause. Everybody in there gave them it was even chanting USA. That's cool and beautiful, but it just further highlights how either they were willing participants or they're all just really dumb, because I don't think that they were able to see how they were being used if they cared, because it was very obvious to me, as somebody who has long since just clocked Donald Trump and all of his antics and shenanigans for what they are, that he is going to like always, lean into anything that he can use as a distraction, as something that is going to keep us occupied on things that in the long run don't really matter. With as much fever and just ferocity of everybody calling and trying to shout about the Epstein files and everything that is in them and how Donald Trump is mentioned more than anybody else, he has done so much over the past 12 months to take attention away from that, to keep us all occupied and focused on other things. Whether it be showing former President Obama and his wife as gorillas, whether it be trying to annex fucking Greenland, just a whole bunch of weird random things that he does because he doesn't want us to focus on the fact that he was deeply in line and is a pedophile. And that's just the way that shit is going right now. I know the team, I don't remember his name exactly, but there was a Team USA member who had to find out the hard way because in true Trump fashion, same way he does use AI to have us looking at the Obama gorilla shit, he had one of the Team USA players talking shit about Canada in this AI video saying that he owns them and a whole bunch of other just disrespectful shit. And it's almost, you would almost think it's like on purpose and that he picked this motherfucker out specifically because this was a guy who plays for an NHL team that is based in Canada. It's like you can't write it. That's just it works so perfect. And that just goes back to what I have to say. The guy is, if anything else, he's politically savvy and he knows how to just throw some bullshit out there that people are going to focus on instead of the shit that really matters. And these Team USA players, listen, I don't know any of them. I haven't done any research on any individual on the team to know if we got any outspoken MAGA-tards or anything like that on these teams. But unfortunately, this is just part of the reason why I guess I've never really been able to connect to hockey the way I'd like to, because I'm not going to hate on the sport. I'm not going to just try to say that I think that there's anything inherently wrong with anyone that fucks with hockey or anything like that. I have enjoyed watching the games or just seeing what I've seen. Like, shit, the hockey games are usually on in my job. Motherfuckers love to cut them on. And I can see why. They're fun, they're exciting, and it's not just the fights. But it feels like every time I'm really taking note of a story about hockey outside of the actual sport itself, I'm seeing a side of the community and the culture of hockey that doesn't really feel inviting. Whether it be the Blackhawks and literally the horrific shit that was apparently happening with them and their sexual assault scandals back in the early 2020s, whether it be in 2023 when multiple players declined to wear Pride Night jerseys, when I did the research about them having the second most right wing leaning motherfuckers, that made sense. I was just like, yeah, that sounds about right. And when there's just about so many other things about the story, just like this one, hockey just ain't the culture for me. I like the sport, I enjoy it, but a lot of the things that just seem to be a part of the culture and a part of the type of people that are into it, it's just not for me. And that explains a good quote that I have seen. For fans, it's yet another example of the best sport, worst league. And that sounds pretty accurate because I like hockey. I genuinely do. I enjoy the sport. I enjoy seeing motherfuckers skating on the ice rink and everything like that. Again, there's no other sport where you can see motherfuckers just start to have a real throwdown brawl and just have the shit go down the way it does. And just have the shit happen and then the game continues. But it just does not seem, just based off everything that I've been able to read and been able to look up, and just based off of this, that the hockey community is something that I want to be a part of. And that's just me. I'm not trying to demonize them too much. Listen, I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm not trying to compare wrestling as a sport to hockey as a sport, because I'll be the first to tell you it's not. It's sports entertainment. But it is it is just not inviting. It's not a warm type of place, and it's just not the type of thing that I think that somebody like me would ever be able to get into. All right, everybody, this has been Kinetic Aesthetic. Once again, I am your host, Germ, and I do want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. Hope that you've had a great time watching this. I hope that you were able to understand where I was coming from. But above all else, I want you to like, follow, subscribe, do whatever you have to do so that you are able to stay up to date and be notified whenever we drop something new. Other than that, though, this has been your boy Germ. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic, and it's been Sports Talk. And I want y'all to have a good rest of your day until we see each other again.